going to call this meeting to order, First Commission meeting of 2026. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Start with approval of today's agenda. Starting with the consent agenda, approval of the minutes for the December 23rd and special meeting on December 29th, as well as the claims for today. Any discussion?
So I think we need a separate approval of the agenda and then approval of the consent items.
Right, okay, yeah, and forgive me, this is my first run at this, so if I make mistakes, yeah, I appreciate that in leading the meeting, right?
I just want to make a clarification on the agenda.
Yes.
So we don't have on the agenda the approval of documents that Mike Hoff sent to us.
If I may, I was going to cover that under the GM report.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then next time we're going to add, well, the next agenda is going to look a little different. We're going to drop the strategic plan. We're going to add GM recruitment as the old agenda items.
Great. Okay, great. Well, with that understanding, then I've got no changes to the agenda modifications. So I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public comment, do we have anyone online interested in speaking to us today? No, I'll pause for an extra moment here because we started at an irregular time in case folks need to catch up. Looks like, I think we have one non-staff guest.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, and there will be another public comment session further toward the end of the meeting. And for now, I will, seeing no hands, I'll close the public hearing. I mean, public comment, open public comment part of our meeting, and we'll proceed with the general manager report, please.
So I've got a number of items to talk about today, but two that revolve around the GM recruitment. One is the three of you should have received the document from Laney at Mykoff with the position description and the advertisement. And I'm looking for your approval to tell Laney go. And I understand, have there been any edits or comments that came in? Atul, you had an edit perhaps?
Yeah, I had a minor edit on that document, and also the announcement, but I don't know where we're handling the announcement.
That'll be next.
Next of them.
The only thing I'm concerned about is the salary range, but I don't know. It's a good time to
So
talk about that.
you might just discuss that under the, we've got under new business, we have that under.
What was the advertised salary range in that offer?
250 to 3.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be broader. Like I don't want to limit ourselves. So
I think that if you talk to Laney in the channel, my inner Laney at this point, if she knows she has some flexibility and she can come back to the commission and say,
Yeah.
I found somebody that's higher, and you guys can make that change on the fly, which I think you can, it's well within your authority. I think that I'm okay with leaving it where it is, and it's consistent with what's in the position description as well. I'm sorry, my voice is getting a little froggy. I've got the
I've
remnants
got Froggy too. I've got that too.
So the first thing is the Mykoff announcement. Atul, did you have an edit on that?
Well, hold on. I mean, we have this as like that's an agenda item under new business. So we're still in reports and we have to go through old business.
No, the agenda item under new business is for the position description. That's the actual formal internal document that we have.
Okay, and so, for what you're looking for now is a signal on just the
Well, I
public.
can tell Lainey to go ahead and.
Yeah, it looks great to
Public
me.
announcement,
Well, no, not, that's next.
just that we should, that we
This is
are,
just the
just-
Lainey announcement.
just the Laney announcement, okay.
The announcement that we're using Lane.
Mhm. Yes.
No,
Mike Hoffrey.
yeah, her 3-page write-up.
Yeah.
That says this is, we're trying to help Whatcom hire, this is what Whatcom is all about, and this is the kind of person we're looking for.
It was the attachment that she sent
Right.
That attachment.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
So, right, that was sent to us yesterday. It's not, I don't believe it appears in the packet, but it will after we.
Yes,
It's
we will add
gonna be
that.
published, but by tomorrow if we approve it, right?
Well, I can't guarantee when Lainey's gonna put it on the website, but very soon.
So I believe we all had phone calls last week,
On
and
Friday, yeah.
with the consultant, I guess, looking at the document, the one thing I thought to hesitate on was where it says applicants must submit by February 16th, 33 days from now. I thought we're further down, it says, should submit resumes by February 16th to Mike Off, and where it, sets our intended, just sticking with our intended timeline and dates for interviews and such. I'm wondering if we, like, if an application came in, a week later or so, would we still want to entertain it, right? And have a little bit of room there, given just what a short time period this is to get, for the word to get out? Or do you all feel like February, like having a hard deadline?
That's exactly what my comment is too. So what I was wondering, now I remember, I should have written it down. But my comment was, would it make sense to put these dates in the recruitment and selection timeline section? Put them as ranges. Or do something to communicate, here are our preliminary estimates for timeline, because, as we know. Really depends on what kind of a response we get.
Right, like if we get no applicants that we even wanna, bring to an interview in time, right, then we would extend it.
Or we
and
just
that's
look at, another thing is we could look at this as just like a target and recognize the fact that targets change, obviously based on realities.
Yeah, my only problem was the word must, and it was just like,
Yeah.
just like this, like, it's clear that when you put out other things like something like this out, it's just stating an intention. And that was my only thing, was it seemed redundant to say must, and given that this isn't a regular job hiring, this is,
Yeah,
and so I was, with that, does anyone feel like? I mean, just striking the first bullet point and then having the timeline there and the indication that they should submit by February 16th seems like it gets the, people know, it's in bold, people.
yeah,
know that's
I'd
when
like
they
to hear
should-
the bust, and I'd also like to get, open up make it sound a little bit more open as far as the recognition that this is our estimated timeline. What are your thoughts, Chris?
What you have in front of you is a standard industry advertisement. And I would suggest that if you've got someone who isn't able to get it together in 30 days for whatever reason, you probably don't want to talk to them.
What if they don't hear about it until, what if they're on vacation right now and then they get the word, it's.
If I was interested in this job, I would have a resume and an application in Delaney in under 24 hours.
As soon as you heard about it.
Right,
What I'm saying is that it does take some time for the
For the networking.
word to get out.
so they're gonna be on vacation for 33 days.
I think it's unlikely. All I was saying was, I mean, I understand that a month of the, a month we're accepting applications
It's
is
actually
a
plenty of
good.
time for an executive recruitment.
Okay,
This is
yeah.
totally typical. And executives deal with deadlines all the time. If they don't, you probably don't want them. And
Yeah, my only thing was, it was simply like, if we make a public statement of must, then, given our unique position, as a public body, does that bind us to where, like, someone
this
can
is
say that
the recruiter, this is the recruiter's document, not ours.
it's the recruiter's document. They must submit to Mike Fry. It doesn't necessarily preclude, we're not like somehow.
And in fact,
bound
if you go back and
to-
reread Laney's offer, or in fact, all of their offers, if for any reason you don't get the candidate you want in the first slate, they just get you another slate. And then they have to rework all the timelines. That's part of the contract.
So as long as it's clear that this is for the recruiter's process
Yeah, and I know we
And-
may be, sorry,
and we're not, like, yeah, it's up to us whether we want to still entertain applications, but this is our intent is, and people, and yeah, we expect them by February 16th so that we can move forward in the time, right?
in a way, maybe it's helpful because it lights the fire. Under
Yeah.
potential candidates.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that was I just want to make sure that by approving this, we weren't like catching ourselves later where it's like, well, now you're breaking your own hiring process.
No, if we don't like the candidates, we're gonna keep going. we're gonna
Yeah,
keep going
yeah,
for a
yeah.
while.
We can always revise. Okay.
It's our process.
But I'm sensitive to words like must when we're dealing with anything official as a governing body. So that's all. That was my only thing. I think it looks great. I think it's I'm hoping that we get a strong pool of applicants and have an option between good choices, and we don't want to delay this any further, of course. And so do we have is this something this is a head nod, or is this
This I had not.
this is a head nod? So
Okay.
any
So we have-
objections to?
No,
Mm.
and I just wanna highlight one sentence that I really like. Candidates must be visionaries who are familiar with competitive issues facing the electric and water industries with the ability to develop and implement strategies, work plans, financial forecasts, and budgets to help Whatcom PUD navigate opportunities and trends. I really like that. So, that's all I have.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
the second thing on, for the GM report is this announcement. This is our internal announcement. And my intent on this is that, you guys give me the head nod, or we do odd edits right now, and, then we just put this on our website this afternoon. And that's essentially our push.
So I have a suggested rewrite for the second paragraph. I like the first, third, and fourth.
I also had a change, so let's hear what were you thinking?
Okay, so I want to replace the second paragraph with this. During Chris's 4 years with the PUD, number 1 of Whatcom County, he has thoughtfully led the organization towards new opportunities and in improving our existing infrastructure. He has hired new leadership, supported transition, and mentored, and helped us deliver a new strategic plan. Chris has done a stellar job, and he will be missed not only by our team, but by our colleagues in the industry. It's shorter, and I don't like getting into too many details that I see in the paragraph at this point. I think we'll do a more extensive, carefully thought through letter, after June.
Let's say, for the purposes of this decision, is this something where we could agree that, like you'll send did you already send this writing to our staff before as a suggestion?
No, I did this redraft yesterday.
So, what's your opinion, Jamie, as far as like, should we make, like, is approving line item edits here good, or is it just like, we would just say, oh, accept the suggestions that we make here, make the correction and then send it out?
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be, it'll be difficult because I hear a tool that he wants something simpler, and then I love the second paragraph because it's able to highlight all of the good work that we have done alongside Chris, that under his leadership, we actually have put forward a great strategic plan, and we have forged this new relationship with the Nooksack tribe that I'm proud of, and I'm proud of his leadership for that. And undergoing the adjudication and him taking this pause at this time shows that he was thoughtful in his exit strategy. I don't know, I appreciate this paragraph the most.
I like the content too.
Yeah.
The thing is that I feel like because it gets into some of the specifics, the way it's worded is really important to me, and I didn't feel like I could do the justice to cover those topics to make sure that I felt like the way it was written here was the best possible way to write it. So that's why I went more general, because I feel like I do want to cover all of those bases, but I want to do it in June. Or May, or whatever, at a later time.
I will go full disclosure here. You guys received this from Lisa, but I was the one who originally drafted it, and that central paragraph is mainly mine. And what I did was give a quick recitation of what I'm proud of.
Yeah, and you
that
should,
we've done.
it's definitely stuff to, but I wanna absolutely give it. Actually, I wanna go deeper than this, is what I,
Well, and that's fine. I would suggest, and I know that, Commission President Yuri has a substantive edit in just one sentence of the paragraph.
Mhm.
But I would suggest that, you know, I like the second paragraph, I wrote the darn thing, and then, of course, Lisa made it acceptable. She takes my English and makes it real English, but that's a different issue. That comes back to our staffing. But I would suggest that we get on Commissioner Yuri's edit, and then I would say, let's make the edit and go with this. That would be my
And then if
suggestion.
you wanna go deeper at, you know, when he retires, we can do a resolution, right? That's,
Yeah.
for his retirement, that is,
Right.
that
let's hear your,
maybe you can lead a thoughtful process for that as well.
And to clarify, it was really, I mean, this was, your recommendation was really just about concision. And, you know, with the understanding we would be making more statements, in congratulations of Chris later. But is there any, I guess, do you have any, if there's an objection to anything in the paragraph, as far as you don't want to make that statement as a commission, given that this is a press release, it's a public statement from the commission?
this is from the commission,
Yeah.
and it has lots of judgments in it. And, this paragraph, second paragraph. And those judgments should come from from the commission. And the way we present those judgments should come from us. And I feel like this is like almost, making editorial comments, like we have nothing to do but to be proud of what we've done with Chris. I mean, it's not like everything's been perfect. We haven't been perfect. No, I'm not saying that. But nobody's perfect. And the fact that we have nothing but to be proud, and I think that putting too much judgment at this point is like, it doesn't really fit this particular moment. We're still in the process of managing this transition. And this is like talking a little bit too much about making a judgment on all that's been accomplished. And we don't need to do that right now.
But I need you to identify what you mean by judgment, because
Okay.
to me, there's no judgment. These are factual sentences.
Led us to a strong place.
Yes.
Okay, that's a judgment.
I mean,
Strong and very lean staff. The adjectives, that's what.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjectives. That was where
It's not me, guys. I'm a commissioner.
You just mean,
It's
so
not my language.
you don't
It's
like
not-
strong.
At least you- at
We
least
do
you-
have a lean staff, and we don't have
But
any
it's not my
significant
language.
gaps. Well, there's three of us.
Right.
You understand, there's three of us. It
Yeah,
can't be
but
your
when we make
language.
judgments, when we make editorial statements, we need to.
And I love, you can take out strong, that's not the word that you like, I mean, that's fine. But most of these are factual statements. Like, we do have a lean staff, we don't have significant gaps. We did overhaul our strategic plan because we wanted the utility, based on what we want the utility to look like in the next, few decades. Those are factual statements. We are pausing at this point in the Nooksack adjudication. That's a fact. That's, we have continued to build strong relationship with customers. That's a fact. We did make significant improvements in our culture. That's a fact. And it's something that we've strived for. So there's three commissioners. We all have to agree on what goes out. I'm just telling, from my perspective, if we take out some of these adjectives that you don't like, but I would keep the tone of this.
And that's gonna take
yeah.
a little bit of time, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
And that's why I wanna put something simple and
would just-
really nail it.
I would just remind the commissioners that, Commissioner Deshmani, you told us you were gonna get a draft of this together a month ago. And I've been waiting for that, and this is kind of to get that going, because I'm at the point now where I need to disengage and make transition plans outside of the PUD. So for instance, the committees that I'm on and other things, that I've got to start beginning to transition those to other people. And some of that happens now, and, you know, that's part of doing a graceful, warm handoff, is making sure all that stuff is taken care
Yeah,
of. So-
none of that changes, none of that changes, I'm just talking about, I'm just saying that at this point in the process, I would rather speak more softly and have less judgments and make some really strong statements in June.
So I'm hearing disagreement.
Yeah, this
And-
isn't a hill I'm ready to die. I think it's silly. I'm just whatever, we'll move forward. He's gotta get a statement out there.
Yeah, don't wanna spend too much more time on this. I mean, recognizing that, as I understand, the purpose of this is so that when people go to our website, they see that we are hiring. And so, you know, like, they might see that if they go to the, you know, they see the recruitment, they see the advertisement, then they go to our website and there's nothing about it. You know, there just needs to be something up there. I don't expect there's gonna be like a news article about this at this stage. But the recruiter's gonna be out there getting the advertisement out, right? And also sensitive to that, it is a public statement from the commission, and if we're not in consensus about a public statement, as a general rule, I don't think it's good practice for us to you know, just rush forward against an objection. So if it's just a simple, I mean, granted, I'll just say, you know, substantively, I don't have objection to any of the content and appreciate that Chris wrote it. And I feel fine about everything. There was one, you know, there was slight word change I recommended out of just you know, sensitivity about how we make a public statement about our work, but that was I would get into that if we were accepting otherwise the paragraph, but if I suppose if we just, can you read again what your suggestion was for concision?
Just during Chris's 4 years with PUD #1 of Whatcom County, he has thoughtfully led the organization towards new opportunities and in improving our existing infrastructure. He has hired new leadership, supported transitions and mentored, and helps us deliver a new strategic plan. Chris has done a stellar job, and he will be missed not only by our team, but by our colleagues in the industry.
But how long have you been with the PUD?
4 years this month.
Just so 2022.
Yeah. 4 years this month.
So on 4 years.
And that's it, and I think it fits well with the other three paragraphs. I love the other three, and I love the content of this paragraph. I just want to put it in the commission's language, and whether and we have plenty of time to do that between now and June.
Well, I think that as you wrote it, it expresses a warm and positive sentiment, and I don't have any issue with that language either, so I guess I would, what do you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna disagree. So, and sometimes that happens. I think that this is undermining all of the work that Chris has put forward. This is his retirement statement. And I think it's totally appropriate to talk about the wonderful things that he's done at the PUD in the 4 years, calling out those projects. So, and sometimes we disagree, and that's fine, but I think that we're doing him a disservice by pulling out the language for all of the work that he's done. And I hear that you'll do that later, but this is the moment where we announce his departure. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to substitute my language for the language that's in the draft letter that's provided by staff for paragraph 2.
For the second paragraph. Before,
It's okay.
so.
Okay.
We have a motion, not yet a second, just to. For me, this is really about, I don't want us to make a public, I think it's unnecessary and ill-advised in general for us to make any public statement to the press with our 3 names signed on it when we're not in consensus about it, when it seems like some, you know, consensus could have been attainable, and this just happened to be where, you know, we need to get something out. we all, you know, we're doing this draft editing in a live meeting, so I guess, are you,
I
if you're
can
gonna,
suggest an alternative. You willing to hear?
Sure.
So I could largely just take that letter and have it from me to the commission, and we could publish it today. And then it's not the commission making any of these statements.
That's a, I mean.
Yeah,
you know,
actually.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Or, and then the other suggestion would be just that we go through here and we take out things like strong. You know, and things that we feel are too
Strong.
strong, you know.
It's not, but I don't really feel that way. I want you to understand me.
But then
It's
it's,
not-
then it's
I
from
just-
you, not from me.
Yeah, I know, that's the
And
challenge.
he's given me a substantive edit that really does make it a lot better. And it's about our relationship with, the Nooksack tribe.
And that's the, so that was,
And that's good, I can fix that.
Could we have an attachment as your letter that, would that work?
I'm not following.
Your letter to the commission and the commission's letter to the public. And essentially say that we, and could that be a way to do this?
Well,
can I hear your edit, Eddie?
my edit was simply, I mean, so there, at the end of paragraph 2, there's 2 sentences where it says, we have built a strong relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I just recommended changing it to, you know, we are working with the Nooksack tribe in our investigation of potential geothermal project, and just simply to not, if we're making a public statement, to not be so presumptuous as to brag about how
So
strong.
that was the one sentence, and that was the sentence that I thought that you were going to comment on. That was, I like your edit.
So this is a non-legal issue, but if I may, just listen to the conversation. What if you took out the second paragraph? That's a letter from Chris to the commission, and you issue the press release and attach that letter. So you have the same thing.
During my time with, so from Chris Heimgartner to the commission, during my time, something like that, he would have a letter, yeah.
I don't know, it's just a thought, since I'm trying to put it all together.
I like that idea. That's what you said.
If it's a letter from Chris, if it's published as a letter from Chris to us, that we approve sending it, putting it out as a public statement, then it's Chris's letter of resignation, essentially. There's the additional parts about, you know, that we've hired a recruiter, which I think that's the thing, maybe in the format where,
Well, I wouldn't say, please join us in congratulating Chris. I mean,
Yeah, the last
there's some
two.
things I would take out.
there need to be some edit to the last 2 things, and those would be, that could just honestly just be like, you put that on, you know, below the letter, below your signature on the website, it says, we have a recruiter, here's where you go to find them.
Just, you know, my suggestion is you do this immediately, you do this press release as is, minus the second paragraph, and in place of that second paragraph, there's a letter from Chris that has that content in it to the commission that expresses, you know, that basically says
As an attachment?
as an attachment.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good way, maybe it's a
Why not
compromise,
do
so.
both? Why don't
we
we
do
put my
both.
second
So we
paragraph
put-
in there?
We put, I mean, Atul's wording, I thought was actually, was very sweet and congratulatory to Chris and appreciative, so I feel like I'd be fine with substituting that for our statement and then having an attachment as Chris's letter,
To the commission.
to the commission, and, I mean, it could be maybe the first 2 paragraphs are your letter, and then,
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I just really feel passionate about making sure that this second paragraph is heard in some way, so if we do. because
I'm gonna make sure Chris is red in the face between now and June for sure. Okay?
in a good way.
Careful, but you
I'm with you.
Okay, you guys know how I feel about this.
Oh,
And so-
yeah, no,
and So,
I do, and I don't think you're trying to slight him, that's,
No.
yeah, I just wanna, I just,
As if I was reading this as an outsider from your paragraph, I would have said, okay, so the commission was happy with him and he hired a couple of people and produced a strategic plan.
yeah.
And so what, he was a good little bureaucrat for 4 years?
I've never said stellar about any other person that's ever.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what you miss when you don't
Right.
have some of the content in there.
Your
A third party
accomplishments.
looks at it and goes, okay, so, you know, he kept the seat warm for 4 years and they're happy with him. And
But the last 4 years were so transitional, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's okay to say that, so I will agree with the attachment. Oh, but you had a motion on the floor.
It hasn't been.
There's no
I
second,
haven't seconded, yeah. I can withdraw.
This
it.
is,
yeah, withdraw your
yeah.
motion.
Yeah, I'll withdraw. my
uh,
motion.
okay, motion withdrawn,
So I'll make a new motion.
I,
You're,
yeah, it's just, no, it's, I just wanted to like. It's true that, yeah, I think, naming Chris's accomplishments. Very well deserved, and just to settle things and move on, so we have consensus on a statement. I'm willing to go with this suggestion, I do want, but just to understand, Chris, that, and as Joel said, yeah, we will do more to make it known. Between now and your departure, and we can, you know, in the final resolution from us and as such, right? And this is really just for the purpose of getting our, notice of hiring out.
can I
for
add
now.
one clause?
You can do whatever you want.
Chris has done a stellar job. We celebrate his accomplishments and he will be missed not only by our team, but our colleagues in the industry.
that's nice.
What do you guys think?
I love it.
Okay.
So we'll have that. in
I will revise this.
second.
I just added, we celebrate his accomplishments. Okay, so I'll send that to you, Lisa.
So the motion then is to revise the letter, second paragraph replaced by the text that Atul was just suggesting. And that, I have a letter that is mostly similar to this, but there'll be some modifications that'll be attached to it.
To the, yeah. Mhm.
What I
Yeah.
love about this compromise, and Eddie, thank you for pushing us to get to a
Yes.
compromise, is that there's something about a GM unapologetically celebrating his accomplishments. There's something really cool about that. That's kind of missing in our culture.
Well, and now is the time, as Jamie pointed out. Nobody will read the resolution that you guys pass in June or July or whenever it happens.
I'll make that.
It'll just be us. Okay,
Oh, Joseph has a question.
so we got a motion. Is there a second?
Did you make the motion?
Okay, I'm making a
Yeah.
motion now to substitute my language for paragraph 2 and requesting that Chris. Prepare a letter as an attachment substantively including the content of the now omitted paragraph 2. Addressed to the commission.
And I will happily second that motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Looks like Joseph has a
So
question.
that was the non-controversial part of this. I have one more thing.
If we may pause, Joseph, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted, since there was a lot that went into that discussion, if I could get a tool's actual language so that when I write this motion, because I'm gonna have to quote everything and have it all for the record as part of that motion, if I could get some explicit wording, that would be phenomenal.
Perfect.
Okay,
Okay,
I have one more thing on the GM report. I'm sorry. We're back to that transition issue. So,
yeah,
you guys we've talked. When I say we, it's been the commission, there's been different commissioners over the years, but we've talked about how we got to where we are with the Grandview system. And perhaps we never should have bought it in the first place, or they should have paid us to take it, or you know, other options. And I've been talking to Ferndale, as I know Steve had before me, about them, you know, taking over our system. And that's been a joke between us because frankly, Jory and Kevin over in Ferndale just kind of laughed. And so in the CEDS meeting last week,
The small.
no, the CEDS, what is it, the economic development, the county economic development soiree, I don't know what that
Okay.
stands for. Sorry.
Sense,
yes.
county economic
Jory-
development,
Jory went ahead and he said, gosh, maybe things have changed. Are you still interested in talking? And what I got the sense from them was two things. One, that, they think that through consolidation, they may be able to get, grants to do the upgrades to the system to actually bring it up to snuff. And two, they think by having the sewer, the water, and other things, and I still haven't verified whether it's in the UGA or in the city of Ferndale. But their perception was they could help Grandview market a lot better if there was more city services serving Grandview.
Duh.
It's a great, but the issue is always who pays for it.
Right.
And that may not be the issue anymore. So we've talked about this, we've got the head nod. Excuse me. We've got the head nod a number of times. I wanna set up a meeting with Jory and the mayor and me and Kurt and sit down and kind of go over the whole thing and what do you guys have in mind? And they're gonna wanna know what we have in mind for maintenance of the system and future capital plans and all that. And I've never been shy about telling them the condition of our system. And so they know that it's piecemeal, it's generations of meters, it's, we have leaks, we have issues there. And that's what we're spending our money on, is fixing it in a piecemeal fashion. I have not been shy about that, so they're fully aware. So I just need the head nod from the three of you, and I will set that meeting up by the end of this month.
I think that's amazing.
It's just,
Does
you
everybody else feel that
keep
way?
floating these things out there and they're ridiculous. And then a couple of years later, suddenly they're not ridiculous.
sure, I've got three things here, yeah, I'm jumping to say, about.
Anyway,
He's just
So,
dying.
Atul,
First thing, if you can, as appropriate, obviously with your judgment, ample judgment, incorporate and include the port as you think makes sense. But it is an economic development opportunity.
first I gotta talk to Ferndale
Yeah,
and find out what it is, is this serious? Cause it may be that once we sit down and talk, it's like, man, you're in this. And then we're right back to where we are.
second thing is I'm absolutely delighted about this possibility. Third thing is an admonishment. You're not allowed to fix every problem the PUD has.
Yeah, yes, right before
Leave
he
something.
leaves.
No, I mean, there's gotta be other people, they need to deal with some drama for Peter. Peter,
We can come up with
what will
some
he,
drama.
what will he lose sleep
I
over?
think we will leave plenty for Peter to do.
Oh, okay, all right.
Don't worry, it's all between you and I. We'll keep Peter.
All right.
so I was pleased to hear about this yesterday, and I think it would be mutually beneficial for City of Ferndale and for us. And right now, of course, we're just given the signal to go ahead and have a conversation, explore it. So I'm all in favor of that, yeah.
That's great. I mean, this is something we've been talking about for, like, exactly what we've been talking about for years, and nobody's wanted to take us up on it, so.
And Steve joked before me, and I'm assuming Tom Anderson before him.
Yeah.
This is not something where it's a wild success that I've had. It's just constant grinding on it, and now maybe the situation has changed a little.
I just want to say, I've had many meetings with Jory and.
Yeah.
Too.
And well, the Ferndale just redid their comprehensive plan, and it looks like that their intent is to grow towards Grandview.
Right.
So it would make sense that they would wanna see that area sort of developed as maybe a
It
second.
is the sweetest.
Yeah, it's.
It's the sweetest economic development opportunity in Whatcom County.
I agree, right off the freeway.
For commercial and light industrial.
Anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. If I've got your okay, that's it for the GI
Yeah, but-
report.
Got that nod, have the conversation, granted, before making any decisions, of course, we'll give ample opportunity to hear from our customers and such.
And hopefully they can put pressure on the land, property owners in the area too. Because kind of, participate or get off the pot kind of, situation.
Yeah, I think that's a step or two beyond where I'm going. with
Okay,
it.
well, since you're doing so well, I'm gonna keep raising the bar.
One step at a time. We'll get there if we get there.
Fantastic.
I'm done.
And before you move on, I just wanted to highlight in the agenda, we do have an executive session that is actually slated for 9:30. Just your
So we gotta talk fast.
time period.
Hey, Kurt,
So,
and we're,
I know
wait,
I mean, but if we don't, we can always just move that.
Well, we have an outside council lined up.
Oh, we do, okay, then, no, that's in 15 minutes,
Yeah.
so let's proceed, and then when we get to 9:30, we'll move to executive session. No? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, well, operations report, please.
Good morning, commissioners. I just have one quick thing, so won't throw you off. So I just want to commend our water ops crew for another river that they've had to deal with. Again, just in the last 24 hours, the river has gone up about 9 feet. We went from about 5,000 CFS cubic feet per second to about 19,000 CFS. So, and then our river went from NTUs, which is the turbidity units went from about 70 yesterday morning at about 7 a.m. yesterday to it's about 780 right now. So we actually had to have one of our ops guys come in last night about 1 a.m. to keep on top of this. But I just want to commend our crew for keeping on top of this. All fall we've had, and into this new winter we've had just these crazy rivers that have just been full of dirt, and our crews have really taken it on the nose, but really have performed admirably. So I just want to kind of give them a shout out and let you all know how hard they're all working to keep our product within specs 24 hours a day. So that's all I got to say. Any
Great.
questions?
Thank you, Kurt.
Right.
please pass our appreciation on to the crew.
Will do. All right. Thanks, commissioners.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Kurt.
I knew the river was bad because my basement flooded.
Oh.
Always a sure sign.
Yikes.
Mhm. Yeah, happens every year,
Oh,
thankfully.
yeah,
Full business.
let's move to old business, starting with broadband update, Andrew.
So for me, we really don't have an update on broadband. We're still just waiting on everything on Point Roberts and waiting on everything on Bede. We similarly don't have an update on the new customer. We're waiting on answers from our consultants. And the strategic plan, this will be the last time we have it on the commission as old business, because here it is.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It really is. Thank you, Lisa, and Sharon, thank Foster Energy for us. Really, really nicely done. We've got total of about 40 copies left, 50 copies. We got 50 copies originally.
Oh,
Yeah, so we probably got about.
And have we sent one to our recruitment firm?
She got a soft copy, yes.
Yeah.
look what we did together.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes, people probably get a little like, you know, Atul and I will disagree on things and it gets a little tense.
We should have
but
put
like,
that page on there.
no, but I mean, I think having tension is good because look what it creates.
It is, yeah,
It produces something, you know, even better maybe than.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Peter, do you have anything for adjudication outside of executive session?
No, I think I think that, from a public facing perspective, there has been activity, and I think the commission is aware of that. There's been media reports about motions filed, or at least motions to be able to file motions. My understanding is that Ecology's motion to be able to provide notice by publication was approved. And the other point from the public facing perspective is that the court is reserving judgment on who to appoint to the committee. So I think the court, John had mentioned before about how he was recommending Matt Wells, and the court is maybe looking for applications, but we'll probably we have more to talk about on that. But it wasn't just like the court's just not going to just insert someone without some sort of process.
So I've got two updates on adjudication. The first one is that one of the county councilors, Ben Ellenboss, was pursuing comp plan amendments. In my last conversation with with, one of the council members, Kaylee Galloway, that, had been proposed, and she would get back to me if it had any legs. And I haven't heard back, so I wanted to see with my colleagues to see if there's anything that you've heard on the subject or.
I haven't heard any updates on that. I mean,
And the
stated my
PUD hasn't taken an
position.
official position on that, but we had said that if we needed to, we might. But it's really out of scope to be addressed in the comp plan adjudication. And then, also late in the year, by one of the, charter commission members, Joe Ellenboss, there was an attempt to, make a last minute amendment to the charter. To address adjudication as well, to try to, add some restrictions on who could sue who in the adjudication. And the civil department at the county prosecutor's office weighed in on it and advised formally that, that was not appropriate. It's outside the scope of the county charter. And I just wanted you, to let you know about those two actions, and they appear to have not gone anywhere. And, there might be future efforts to do things that are quote unquote out of scope, to try to, but we should just be aware of it and try to educate the best we can. I mean, obviously, it's a difficult subject, so.
It is.
I'll just add one thing on adjudication. There was an article in Cascadia Daily, last couple days. I can't remember when it was published, but, Department of Ecology was the author. And, Commissioner, in line with exactly what you were saying, that the gist of it was everybody should apply. If you don't apply, you lose your rights. We know that.
Yeah.
And so it was back on the just apply.
If you're not at
File
the,
your claim.
if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Yeah.
It's really, and they were real sophisticated about how they said that, but that's how they said, that's what they said, so. We just gotta keep getting the message out there.
Yeah.
And that's all we can do at this point. Geothermal, do you have a nice update on that? I wanna kick that over to Andrew.
All right.
Good morning, commissioners. Let's talk about the memorandum of understanding. We've had some conversations about that in past commission meetings, which is the MOU that would allow the PUD and the Nooksack tribe to work collaboratively together on future geothermal activities. And we had talked about a joint meeting together, and our friends over at the Nooksack got back to us with some dates that they would be available for us to have a joint meeting between the tribal council and all of you.
Great.
And it would be at the tribal councils meeting, which are, my understanding, the evenings. I don't know the time just yet, but I can throw out some dates if you don't mind looking at your calendar. The Tuesdays and Thursdays, the earliest would be January 27th or the 29th. And then there's also some dates, February 3rd or February 5th, that would work as well. So the question for the commission is what evening, the 27th, the 29th, or the 3rd or the 5th works best for everyone.
Just a reminder, we do a commission in the morning on the 27th.
29th, I'm not available.
27th seems preferable, right? If we're meeting in the morning anyway. And then are there conflicts during the day, Jamie, or?
And the 3rd and the 5th also work for me, so the only date that doesn't work for me is the 29th of January.
When you say in the evenings, what time? And do you know?
We don't know exactly.
Oh, okay.
Probably 5, I would guess.
Actually, yeah, 3rd and the 5th would be fine for me, I think, anytime. Well, potentially the evening on the 5th would be a conflict, but I would make, I mean, as far as what,
I'm committed on the
Well-
29th, I can't.
yeah, no 29th.
Yeah, I can do the 27th or, sorry, I have lots of places to look from.
Yes, no,
It was, did we have time ranges for those 3 dates, or those were just within those
Just
are
in
the
the
dates?
evening is all we've got.
In the evening,
So is that a 4 PM or 6 PM start? I don't know.
I'm gonna say the 27th or Feb 3rd for me.
27th or 3rd works for me also, so if that's. Do those days work for you at all?
repeat that?
27th or the 3rd.
Yeah, both of those are great.
Okay,
I'll-
so either the 27th or the 3rd.
Perfect. And the idea there would be that, the three of you
I think
and the
the
tribal
problem-
council can sign the MOU.
Great. I'm
Just
excited.
as a side note, again, we don't have an exact time, but according to Google, they typically start their meetings at 6 p.m. So
I want to bring up is that, you know, one of the things I have really enjoyed learning about is, the amount of effort that when I've attended tribal events, they go to. And we should bring something. I don't know what it is. You guys figure out what makes sense. We should bring something to them.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
There should be some
quite
gifting.
appropriate to bring a gift, yeah.
yeah, okay.
We should bring,
Mhm.
and it's nothing but just establishing community. That the goal is to communicate. We're all in this together kind of message. Something hard, as much as we can heartfelt. Obviously, we're an organization that's not an individual, but it should come from us. So
Figure out to deal with meeting issues, special meeting issues.
Yeah, I think this is one of those ones where we just put out a notice and an agenda and not draw any attention to it. There's nobody's gonna go up the.
We
So,
gotta keep moving, we got
well,
6 minutes.
well, once there's a date, let's expect staff will put public notice of special meeting.
Yeah,
right?
and I think
And then, yeah.
our next meeting date is the 27th.
It is.
Correct.
Yeah, so it would be, yeah, we'll have to let you, if that's the date, we'll have to let you know before the next meeting. So,
In advance, and as far to the gift, granted that we can't talk to each other in between, I would approve delegating you to lead that.
I can work with Lisa.
And since, yeah, it's a good suggestion, so.
I'll come up with some ideas. Maybe we can chat this week.
Does that sound good with you?
Great, yeah.
Awesome, and well, thank you, and let's, I know we only have a few minutes till executive session, so was that all of the old
that
business?
was all the old business.
Do we think we have time to move into new business and do that in 5 minutes, or what would we?
The first resolution is just
Cancel,
canceling the warrant.
Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah.
And here she is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Stephanie, please.
I just have resolution 889. We have a warrant for Blue Beam that was missing in the mail since October. We just need to cancel it, no reissue, because I ended up paying it on credit card.
Great. I move to approve resolution number 889, authorizing cancellation of a warrant for Blue Beam.
I will second.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, did I beat you to it? Am I not supposed to second as a?
It's fine, you can.
Or sorry, any discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
So my question is on resolution 2, is there gonna be some discussion? If there is, then let's go ahead and hold that till after the executive committee.
I thought it was something that was worth some discussion, yes,
Okay, then we'll
and
do
so I would, I'm gonna propose. So
Started.
we will hold item B until after executive session. But grant noting all, and as well as commissioner reports, we'll do after exec session. However, noting that we did a public comment on the agenda to be prior to 9:30, I just wanted, I believe, do you think opening up for the second public comment session now, or should we wait? Since this is the time they would have expected it, if in case there is anyone online. I will open it for public comment. If there's anyone online or in the room, please present yourself and raise your hands, and we will would love to hear anything, any comments if is anybody or is everybody staff who's on the
No, Tyler's, he's, I think Phillips 66.
So I guess that's for you, Tyler. So we'll hold it for a minute here. And if you're just listening in, that's fine. And I definitely apologize to anyone else who might be streaming this for being irregular in the proceeding today. And thank you for understanding and bearing with us in being and then
We'll need a minute to get ready for executive
It
session,
takes a little bit of time.
to get everybody out of the room.
Okay, I will close public comment, seeing none, and I will move to adjourn the public meeting and prepare to executive session to commence at 9:30 and expected to last approximately 30 minutes.
Just go ahead and note on there, the verbiage on number 11, the purpose of the executive session, as stated, will be part of the announcement. We're just going into executive session now, right?
Mhm.
So, executive session is to discuss, with legal counsel pending or potential litigation pursuant to RCW 4230-1101I. And so the auditor wants, when we're coming back, which
It should be 10 o'clock.
should be 10 o'clock.
Great.
We will resume the public meeting at 10 a.m. We're live now, resuming our recess from executive session, returning to the open public meeting. I believe we have a few agenda items left, and the first will be new business B, resolution 2, updating the position description and salary range for the general manager. Mr. General Manager, would you like to comment on this?
So, what you have in front of you, if I can find it, is an updated version of the general manager job description. This is a technical document that exists inside the district. It was substantially updated in 2012 and not since then. The only updated after that was to change the salary range. I went through and did some editing on this, as I think Lisa did as well. And so what you have in front of you here, I would describe this as a minimum qualifications document.
Mhm.
That this is the starting point. If people meet all this stuff, then you advance them to an interview where you do further screening and find out fit and attitude and, you know, everything else that you just can't write in this. So that, I just, you know, and we're changing the salary range from what it was to 250 to 300. And that lines up with the advertisement that our recruiter is working on.
As it's shown here, it's 250 to 300 is crossed out.
Yeah, that was I screwed up in the formatting, I'm sorry.
I would say 200, so 250, 300 was what we agreed to previously, and I'm comfortable with sticking to that as far as what we advertised, discussion, others?
Well, I have had some thoughts after our last meeting on the subject.
Please.
And
proceed.
one of the things is that, you know, thinking about succession planning, Chris has been very much developing our leadership in the organization, and the market is tough. So one of the possibilities that has occurred to me, and I obviously want us to have the highest success in what we're trying to do, but just trying to make our process as robust as possible, is that what if we end up getting candidates that we like that, but are a little bit younger in the process, not necessarily age just young, but experience young. And maybe we should bring the lower end of the salary range down a little bit more to allow for that possibility of someone who's a little bit more of a peer to our first tier of management, rather than.
Yeah. Just be careful, we'll talk about age, we're not, you know, you're targeting people earlier in their career, we're not.
Yeah.
that could be any-
We don't mean young.
They're not biological age.
Yeah.
And so what, I'm just bringing it up, and by making the range a little, bring the low end down a little bit more, it might make it more amenable to that possibility.
I don't know that anybody's
And I'm just bringing
looking,
this up for discussion.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
wed to this at all.
so I was looking at some of the salary ranges just for these positions, and the people aren't starting there. Do you know what, like, people aren't jumping, to get the person that we need, we're going to be paying them at least 250,000, I guess is what I'm saying. But
Okay.
there's like, as a matter of fact, my fear is that we need to go higher than 300 to get the person that we want. We'll see we'll see what happens. But you bring up a good question. Do we want somebody at the beginning of their career, or do we want a, seasoned person? And that's gonna be the biggest difference in salary, right? If we hire somebody more towards the end of their career, like with Chris, they may expect more.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
cool with that.
So I can speak from personal experience
Okay.
that, I was actually, I'm adequately paid here.
Mhm.
This is for me. Now, the market for the position may be different than what I would settle for, because I am at the end of my career. And this was something where I really wanted to do it, and, we negotiated it, and it was like, okay, we're good. So just because somebody's at the end of their career doesn't mean they'll command or even demand a higher salary.
Yeah.
They may not.
Well, this is probably a
wasn't the
good,
driver for
yeah,
me.
okay, this is probably a good start. I mean, I feel like this is a good.
Yeah,
start.
and I think our recruiter knows
Yeah.
that,
We are willing to look outside of.
Yeah.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because I thought of that, a similar thought, and, discussing it, with Laney, the median salary for a GM in Washington State PUDs, median, the average is 255, right? Chris is at 230 in 2025. I would like to think that, like there very well could be someone out there who'd be happily willing to do it for 230 or 245, 250, 55, whatever, the lower end.
Mhm.
Whatever we put as the lower end is that, like, it's expected, that's the minimum,
We're
right?
not gonna pay less.
And so
What I was thinking.
I had entertained, it was like, if you widen the range more, to like, it was 230 or 330 or something, like how much is that just too wide for negotiation? And, I think it's understood that the range we
That's
put out
kinda what I was
there
wondering.
it's possible, like, we are not, it's not a hard line as far as like, if it really is the right person and they really are worth more, we're open to going above 3. As far as how we want to advertise it, this is what to expect. But it is true that if you don't, like, you can't, there's really no, like, there isn't gonna be wiggle room to go below if we put what's advertised,
That's
right?
kinda what I was thinking.
So,
If Flaney comes back to you and says, hey, I've got this candidate you really wanna talk to, but they're not gonna talk to you unless you go to 325.
right,
Of course.
She'll give you that feedback. That's why you hire a good recruiter.
right, and
Yeah.
I think that's where
Yeah.
we're all in agreement, like, we're
Yeah.
okay with going above, however, recognizing that there could very well be someone who's happy to do it for less, in which case we're just kind of like
That's kinda what I'm thinking,
throwing money,
frankly.
cause recognizing the cost of living is high around here, but 230 is a living wage here for sure.
If you
Yeah.
get someone that you're really happy with and they say yes for 250, I'd say sign the contract.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, That's.
It's not even a fact, it's not like living wage in this position, like, you should always look at living wage, but
You need to attract someone.
yeah,
Right.
what are they paying linemen in the city of Blaine now? Didn't we just discuss this? It's like
It's just like 75 an hour.
$75 an hour for an
It's
electrical
more
lineman.
than that because.
I think it was 82,
We're
right?
paying 7.
Yeah, it was 80 in the 8. So just to give perspective, right? And so you're looking to hire somebody with skills above and beyond that. We're in a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, we-
Anyway, so it's just,
I'm fine with it.
it's like, it's gut wrenching a little bit, right? To be like, oh, that's a lot of money, but also that's just what they're commanding these days, and it's.
Yeah, also just recognizing, when you're applying for a job, it's like, people are it's never a good tack to come in and be like, I'll do it for the minimum,
Right, yeah,
they're gonna
sure,
ask for
yeah.
the most, and so really the minimum we put really sets an anchor.
Yeah,
That's
And
kinda what I'm thinking.
like, and so that's where it was like, if it was a wide range where it's like, I guess if we lowered the minimum, I would also say raise the maximum to just put it out, like, this is a wide range depending on the range. We are open to a range
Let me
of experience.
Another way of looking at it is that we as a commission, if we go out there and hear back that this is this young gal that, and
Early in
she's,
her career.
Yes, not a.
thank you.
Yeah.
Early, young in her career. And she's got all the boxes checked. And I just feel like she's gonna work great with this team. Just hypothetical scenario here. But but the point where where she is in her career. It's like, you know, it'd be a better match. At something that's closer to the executive team. Or I should say that the top line of managers underneath the executive director, under the GM. So I'm just throwing that out, that's why I was thinking maybe going a little bit lower.
2:30 to 3:30 is good. Go ahead, Lisa, sorry.
Can I make a comment about that? As we look at salaries and we've made adjustments like this last year, we made adjustments to our waterman position, right? So as those positions go up, one of the things we haven't done yet and that Chris has been okay with is not looking at his salary as we look at making sure that we have the appropriate space between that that salary and that person's supervisor and that person's supervisor and Chris. And we have not done that, so I would caution you to go too low. Now is an opportunity if we're raising that number, and I hear what you're saying, but you also should look at, you know, I know you're saying, oh, it might be better to be more in line, but there should be a certain percentage above that always.
Mhm.
And that is one of the things when I do salary surveys and I make recommendations to Chris and therefore to you, is that we have that space. And I think if you don't take the opportunity now to put that number up, later, you're gonna be looking at it anyway, because you're gonna have space. You're gonna have,
Oh,
you're gonna have
You're gonna have
compression.
You're gonna have compression.
You're gonna have compression in those positions in the next year or so as those adjustments get made.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you're already,
But to
this
be
is an
clear,
opportunity to
I
address
gotta
that.
explain my view on this. So the reason that I haven't raised the compression issue between the GM and any subordinate position is, well, number one, I'm happy where I'm compensated. Number two, when you look at a, like a sports franchise, for instance, how often is the head coach paid much less than the star players? But who's in charge?
Yeah.
Right? And that's because the market for the star players is different than the market for the head coaches. And so, you know, that's why I've said, Lisa,
We
don't.
get down Gatorade on him.
That's why I said for Lisa, don't worry about this. We will sweat at the next thing, because you don't want to start with a compression issue. And you may not have someone that looks at it the way I do. So just for what it's worth.
Yeah, I just think that compression issue is something for you all to consider, because it will come up at some point.
So now I'm back at 250 to.
Yeah, me too.
That's
That's very.
You can negotiate.
Yeah.
Now, I would never recommend negotiating below 250.
Yeah,
Because then it looks like a bait and switch.
yeah.
And you don't ever want to go there with
Yeah.
with a candidate that you want.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if like, you know, a really stellar, independently wealthy billionaire comes in and says, I'll do it for nothing.
So.
Then,
Well, actually, that person will not be good.
they probably wouldn't be the right fit for this, but I'm just saying, like, recognizing this is, you know, this is what we're advertising, it's, no, we're flexible and open to the right
Yeah, I'm just
person.
glad to have had
There
the
isn't,
discussion.
you know, we're not
Yeah.
being super rigid about what our hire, like, who the right fit is, right? We're gonna get hopefully a good range of good options. So we are fine with 250.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, all right.
Sounds good.
I just wanna have a
it's-
conversation.
No, I mean, it's fair, because to me, I mean, that's like, I look at this and it's like, that's a lot of money for me. Like,
It is a lot.
that'd be a lot, you know, and I'm like, that, you know, it's recognizing it adds up over time, how much, you know,
Yeah.
that could be another staff position if we were, going at the high end, and, we'll just, yeah, hopefully, this should be good, right? I mean, I think that it was, so let's agree to that, and
That's why we make Chris do 2 jobs.
I guess before we, while we're still in discussion here, is there anything, any other comments on
yeah.
the job description?
Uh,
Or points we'd like to perhaps tweak, or this goes out to the public forum? Oh, looking at, we're in the under HR office use, it's kind of the end where it has these dates from 2012.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that's just a document that when it's been brought before the commission.
so this is as far as, it's the original job description, and then it indicates last updated under this, and the most recent one is 890.
Yeah, and I
This
think you
date.
just made them, so
Yeah.
we'll have today's date as a next update on.
And it'll be updated
Yeah,
again.
or that's reflected in this, and otherwise I guess, granted, this is for our internal, this is our
This is
internal, right, yeah, this isn't the ad per se, yeah.
No.
So all of this seems consistent, and I just want to be clear as far as what we're motioning to approve, since the document in the packet has a line crossed through it. Do we need to?
Motion to approve with that corrected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed resolution 890 with one modification. That the salary ranges from 250,000 to 300,000. I'm crossing a line basically. That's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Oh, I
Aye.
just want to note before we go, so this is the only, I've never seen an education or experience limit so low, for a salary so high. Just, we don't have to change it. I'm just noting that, most of the time in this area, especially, they want you to have a master's degree to make $22 an hour, so.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also something about executive leadership where you
Yeah.
wanna make sure you don't wanna leave out some people who've had accomplished that.
There's a small percentage of GMs around the country that were linemen. And they don't have anything beyond a high school education, and you wanna talk to them.
Well, see, and that's what that's kind of what I was getting at. Is there a reason for that? So
Yeah.
there is a reason.
There are some out there that.
Yeah,
That are amazing people.
The Navy, they call them Mustangs,
okay.
but yeah, they're out there. And if one of them is interested, you wanna talk to them.
Yeah, okay. Great, thanks. Oh, so that's it. Now we can do all those in favor, I guess.
Okay, closing discussion. I will call the motion to question. We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, commissioners.
Uh,
I think that concludes our
New
new business.
Thank you. So, I believe next will be commissioner reports. We'll start with Commissioner Arnett.
Yeah, nothing to report, except I will be attending, the WAPUDA meetings online. And just a refresher, I'm on the water committee, so I'll be attending the water meeting and the board of directors. And I think that's it for me.
That's tomorrow morning.
So
And then-
the commissioner roundtable is tomorrow morning, the education is tomorrow. and
Water
then-
meetings are Thursday.
Yeah, water meetings on Thursday and then the board meetings on Friday.
E-board's on Friday, so you'll be zooming in.
Yeah,
And so that means neither of us has to be there on Friday, right?
that's right.
Okay, I might still listen in, I might still just listen in,
Sure.
but knowing you'll be there is good, so I won't create confusion on that. I'm sorry, is that all?
That's it.
Is your whole report?
Yeah.
Okay, I also will be attending, plan to go in person, the Commissioner Education Roundtable, a whole lot, it's all electric sector, presentations and discussions should be really interesting. Tomorrow afternoon, and legislative reception as well, looking forward to that. I'm also, the following week, 21st, 22nd, I'll be attending Energy Northwest board meetings, also in Olympia. And we had previously, brought up before, we would discuss it in January. I think it'd be after next, when we reconvene on the 27th, I'll have updates. So I'd say just we can save discussion for that if that sounds good. Running over time here anyway. But yeah, basically, like, still, the target for approval on the SMR project is May, and we're still, we're gonna need more information, more details on that before, we bring that to a decision as commission. So, hopefully I'll have more an update and be clarity on that next week. Was there I feel like there was one other thing I was gonna report, and now but I think that's, I think it's just that, no other per diem requests, Commissioner Dishmani.
Okay, so first I'm also going to Wapuda. I'm taking the train down, it gets in around noon, so I'll probably start attending meetings around 1. So we'll get the full afternoon. I'll be going to the reception. And of course, my committee's on Thursday, and I have a meeting on Friday. That's a personal meeting, but it's actually will be in the Wapuda downstairs with the Institute for Sustainable Infrastructure. And I know those people, and they wanted to sit and chat and casual conversation, and some retired people from Department of Commerce are gonna be there too. And I don't expect it to have anything relevant to the PUD, but just gonna mention it. And I'll come back on Friday. I attended PPC meetings last week. Usually I feel like I'm pretty on top of it with PPC. There's 2 things from that meeting. One is, it occurred to me and that this repower, the extended power upgrade, is the largest increase of supply in the Northwest in the last several years.
Dispatchable.
Yeah. And there's potential for more of that, but just thinking about how much work it took of exploring multiple new source ideas, and this is all we got. If you think about how much demand is growing, the rate of supply growing is, very slow compared to the rate of demand. So this is one reflection. I know I'm not the smartest person in that room by far on the subject that's discussing PPC, but I really think PPC is missing something. Not because of intent, but the approach they're taking, I think, on the residential exchange, I think, is one which is money that's transferred from BPA to the investor-owned utilities. To make it more fair, because BPA is funded, it's a federal agency, and why shouldn't the investor-owned utilities benefit? And I don't disagree with the idea of the residential exchange. But with all the big fish that we're frying, PPC is going to a tremendous amount of effort, a technical effort, to make technical arguments why it should be this number rather than that number. And I think really what it is, what we're missing is the opportunity to recognize the difficulty that the investor-owned utilities are in. And so the investor-owned utilities are going at a tactical request for more money from the residential exchange. If not exactly money, it's attributes, but attributes are money. And I just, not being the smartest person in the room, having still gut feel like it'd be good if we figure out a way to meet the investor-owned utilities where they're at, and acknowledge the fact that they're in a difficult way, and identify other ways to support our shared interest, which is supply. And rather than fighting over the residential exchange, I wish we would take all that money and energy we're spending on fighting that out and put it into how do we strategize to develop more supply in the Northwest. That's an editorial comment. I'm sure I didn't raise that in the most tactful way, but I think hopefully you guys get my intention, you too, Chris. Well, my intention is that it's not to upset it. I'm not mad at anybody or just I feel like we should try to meet the investor utilities a little bit more on their actual reality, which is not that far from our reality. So, That's, you know, I already shared about the adjudication that are happening in the margins. And I'm continuing to hope, that our Point Roberts project,
Fingers crossed.
yeah, settles out nicely. I don't have anything else to add, so.
You know, we never got a chance to thank Atul for his year as the chair of the commission.
Oh,
Yeah, and doing a good job for that year, because we didn't have a very clean handover the last day.
yeah,
So thank you for the work that you did last year.
Yeah,
Did a
thank-
good job.
it was fun, thank you.
We got a lot done.
We got a lot done.
Yeah.
Yeah, likewise, yeah, yeah, appreciate it, and, I'm following in your footsteps here. I I remembered the thing that I was gonna bring up, before we wrap here, if you're done, I wish, although I will say, I wish that was something we could just discuss at length more, and it feels like maybe it's not best getting into it, looking at the time, but, it's about,
The residential exchange.
I don't know, just more just the thoughts about, you know, what you were saying about everything in PPC, yeah.
Supply.
Cause it's not necessarily like, it's not direct business for us, but,
Mhm.
no, I appreciate that you attended and are paying attention to that, and discussing with Chris and such, right, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I was heard in that room, I'll be honest, I'm not sure I was heard in the PPC thing, and obviously you don't push. In that, it's a big group of people, we're a small player, plus on the Wednesday afternoon meetings, there's a little bit more. It's more educational. Thursday's a meeting, and so I don't typically raise my hand, I didn't, I typically put it in the chat. Because it's the executive committee board members that should be running that meeting, not me and my needs. And so I put it in the chat and they address it if they feel like it, so.
And they didn't pick it
They
up.
didn't pick it up.
Oh, I guarantee they picked it up. They might not have known what to do with it,
Mhm.
but they.
I get lots of comments from commissioners at Waputa. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so, you know, I mean, so like, usually when I bring something up, other people are thinking it too, so I don't hesitate anymore, but I still wanna respect the institution, so.
Granted, it's a place where it's usually commissioners aren't there, right, it's.
Oh, there are
GM,
the commissioners, but commissioners just listen.
There are a couple.
On Thursday, there are lots of commissioners that attend it, but they listen. They don't speak up, and I respect that too.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, yeah, and then fuel, yeah, fuel is 100% our meeting,
Right.
and so. Fuel is an event that happens quarterly. That PPC hosts, so.
Well, I'm interested to hear more about that.
Maybe I'll get an email with the fuel schedule. And the PPC
Yeah,
schedule.
the fuel is open and it's pointed at elected officials.
Fuel is.
Yeah, it's not for GMs and power supply officers.
So would that be okay if more than one of us attended?
I think
Yeah,
so.
Just to listen, in,
Yeah,
right?
it's a Zoom.
Yeah, I'd be interested, to get the schedule on that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. The thing though, I was, want to bring up with y'all, sort of a temp check, opportunity came up, in the time since our last meeting where, so there's, Puget Sound Energy they have a RFP out for, basically they're looking for distributed, solar generation and battery storage, throughout their service territory. And, open bid, so that's resources in the distribution network, it's all part of their IRP plan. And I know there's competitive bids going in all around, and was approached by local firm Cascadia Renewables, Bellingham based. I think maybe to have talked to them at some point too, but So, yeah, Shane from that firm came out, we had a conversation with staff here, and, basically, they're willing to prepare and submit an application on our behalf, along with like lots of other host site clients that they're just gonna put in there, and then it's just to see if like, if there's any interest from PSC. And if there was, then, then we would get into more of the details of it. Basically, we came out here and we were looking and, there is PSC distribution that runs right up under our property here, leaving aside the substation and yard and transmission that's over there. They're looking for, small projects. It's battery systems under 6 megawatts or up to 6 megawatts, depending on what the trip transfer capacity and stuff is in the system. Probably pretty unlikely that they would choose us, probably not at the highest priority area of the grid, but we are probably most like on the upper end of who could, do it capably, cost effectively and easily, given that, we
own the
have-
property.
we own the property, we're zoned for utility. Not that you'd need to be for this, and the whole thing, this would be like maybe like a shipping container size thing that we put out in the yard space over there.
Yeah, probably two.
Maybe 2 shipping containers.
That'd be lovely.
And what it would do is, so PSC would pay for it, it would serve them, but it also adds, resiliency to the grid and potentially, we'd work something out in the contract where, it serves us as backup power if we need it. And I'm not exactly, maybe not.
Cash flow too.
Yeah, and key thing is that it would give, a little bit of revenue, and we'd only be using space that has grass on it. Granted, all the details to be, worked out later, but what I was looking for a temp check as far as like, with the go ahead for, this consultant to, prepare, bids and application, and then we would come and approve that on the 27th. The deadline is like the end of the month, to submit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm just gonna speak, it sounds great to me.
It does. I have questions that probably are best not put out there during a public meeting, maybe.
We can chat after if you want.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that sounds great.
And I think I wanted us to look at every opportunity, and we've already done multiple things in collaboration with BC County or Cork
Yeah.
County ordinances. I'm very much supportive of opportunities for us to get our names out there together, supporting each other.
Mhm.
I mean, this, this is what I said earlier, the supply problem is everybody's problem. It'd be great to do that kind of a thing if it works out, so.
Cool. Well, that was what I was looking for. Yeah, just keeping an eye out for opportunities like that where, we're an eligible entity for lots of grants that go through that might just not seem like the right fit for us. Or maybe, we don't want it's the staff capacity to develop a whole project when they come, but there's things like this sometimes that are out there and where I'm happy to hear y'all think it's at least worth.
Is that gonna include sheep or no sheep?
What do you mean?
Grazing sheep underneath the solar panels?
Well, I think what we were leaning toward was just batteries and not bother with the solar. We have a small solar system already.
Okay. Just batteries.
Or maybe a small amount of solar, but we wouldn't want to cover our whole area with
Well,
it.
at least
I think the solar won't pencil out.
Yeah, it probably isn't, but just the battery alone could be, we're just gonna see if they're interested.
Yeah.
And.
Let the technical people figure out the
yeah.
best way to do it.
Cause if they're, I'm sure that PSC has, they have a target they're trying to hit as far as deployment, and if, they'll consider us, right? And nice to be good friends and partners, and they're one of our most important customers, of course, Fusion Sun Energy, and it's just another way to engage and.
Work together.
And just, other ways we can just, just a good little test of doing a little development on our property. I don't know when the last time we had a small development on our property was, but, it could be a little bit of growth. We'll take that, and I guess there'll be more on it in 2 weeks. I'll just do a call for the good of the order here. Anything else from anyone before we?
No.
In which case I will adjourn the meeting at 10:35 a.m.